What's going on? What do you guys want?
No, we're just talking.
All right. Am I being detained or am I free to go?
No, free to go. Whatever you want.
All right. Might I ask what the call was about or what?
No, we're not called out.
You just saw me walking around and thought I looked suspicious or something?
No, we're just talking.
All right. Well, y'all have a good night.
All right, thank you.
Bye. Y'all heard that. That was a quick stop for nothing. Hey, what up everybody? It's old Lex the Lion here. I hope you enjoyed that video. Now I'd like to go ahead and explain to you why this is an illegal stop. All right, first of all, it should be noted that I was partial open carry, meaning that I'm wearing a hoodie and I have my pistol on my right side, and I had the hoodie tucked on the other side of the pistol in a fashion to where it's completely visible. All right, and I can grab it at a moment's notice and pull it out if I had to. And then over that I have my actual jacket. All right, so my jacket covers the main portion of my pistol and my holster, but at the bottom of it, it still sticks out. And I've even had a friend of mine, tell me that he's always seeing my pistol sticking out, when I'm wearing my jacket and my hoodie. And he started asking me, why I carry a gun. But that's not the story today. The story is I was partially open carrying. That's partial open carry right there. And I was just walking around minding my own business like I always fucking do. I don't go around getting into trouble. I don't go around accosting people. I don't go around pulling my gun out and telling people to stick them up and give me your shit. I don't do nothing like that. I walk around, I mind my own business like a free man in America should and can do. All right. So I walked across the street and I ended up, as you can see, at a Title Max parking lot. And I was just walking in the parking lot, walking through, and these cops decided to creep up behind me. I did not see them coming from anywhere. They were completely oblivious to me. I noticed them because as I was walking through the parking lot, I saw lights shining behind me and onto the ground, and I knew that there was a car approaching me from behind. It was not known to me at that point that it was cops until I turned around and I saw the cop car. So I turned right back and faced forward again, and I kept walking until I heard the cop that was talking to me the entire time. He's the one that jumped out of the passenger side of the cop car. He told me to stop. All right, and let's just get this out the way. When a cop tells you to stop, he is giving you a command. Okay, he's giving you a command, and at that point you got two things. You got two things that you can do: either stop, or you can keep walking away and face some consequences that will happen if you do not obey his command. All right, in this case I stopped, but here's the deal. These guys had absolutely no reason to stop me. I did absolutely nothing wrong. As you heard them say openly on video, that they were just talking to me, that there was no call. And when I told them that, oh, you just saw me walking around looking suspicious, the guy said, nah, we're just talking to you. All right, so they openly admitted that there was absolutely no freaking reason for them to stop me at that point. Now, what this amounts to is impeding my freedom of movement, and this is illegal. Now, what you got to understand is cops work under the color of law, and in order for them to make contact with somebody while they're operating under the color of law, and in this case fully dressed in uniform and everything, actively currently on the clock by their for-profit employer, which is known as the government, all right, when they're acting under the color of law, they have to have official capacity in order to make contact with somebody for any reason at all. All right. Now, if they go ahead and step up to you and just want to talk about the weather or something, well, it's up to you to give consent. But here's what the unique part about my situation here is. They didn't stop me to talk about the weather. They didn't stop me to render aid. They didn't stop me to ask me if I was having some sort of an emergency, to see if I was doing okay. They didn't stop me to ask me if I wanted a blanket or an extra jacket because I looked cold. They didn't stop me for any reason at all, except that they profiled me. And even though they said that they didn't stop me because I look suspicious, they stopped me because I look suspicious. All right, they profiled me, they stalked me, they crept up behind me where I couldn't see them, and they commanded me to stop. All right, under color of law, with no official capacity in effect. So that means they had absolutely no reasonable suspicion and no probable cause to make that stop whatsoever. Okay, you have to understand that when cops tell you to stop, as I said earlier, they're giving you a command because they want to talk to you for some sort of investigative purpose. And in this case, it was completely clear that they weren't trying to like talk to me about anything. I mean, up to the point that they told me that they were just there to talk to me, they hadn't said anything. How much in this video did you hear the cops talking to me? No, they were only responding to my questions. Before the camera footage started rolling, before I started recording them, there were only just a couple exchanges. The first exchange was the cop getting out of the car and telling me to stop. And then they approached me, and then now it was my turn to respond to that. And what I said was, because they got a little too close to me, and you've heard me on my other video where they stopped me at Walgreens, how I told those cops, I told them, you know what, I'm gonna back up for a little bit because you guys scare me. And I said the same thing. Okay, what do you guys want? So I said the same thing on this one. These two cops, they got too close to me, and I told them, you know what, I'm backing up because I do not appreciate you getting so close to me. That's exactly what I said. I said, you know what, I'm backing up because I don't appreciate you two getting too close to me. And the same cop that did all the talking, he responded to me saying, why? And that's exactly the moment when the footage started rolling, when I started recording them. So from that point on, in that video, how much do you hear these cops talking to me? Absolutely nothing. They were responding to my questions. And before the camera started rolling, I told you exactly what took place. There was absolutely no conversation, nothing. They told me to stop. I responded by saying, you're too close to me, I'm backing up, I don't appreciate that. And he said, why? And then the camera starts rolling, and there's history right there. So you heard these cops absolutely talking to me about what? Nothing. All right? Because the truth of the matter was, they saw me, thought I looked suspicious, which is not probable cause or reasonable suspicion. They saw me committing no crimes or about to commit a crime. They had no reasonable suspicion that I was about to commit a crime, have committed a crime, or are currently committing a crime. They had none of that. All right? So they profiled me, stalked me, and pulled me over and tried to tell me that they were just talking to me, all while under the color of law and with no official capacity. Them stopping me just for the reason to talk to me, that is not official capacity. What makes these cops think that I want to talk to them? All right? What makes them think that, oh, hey, look, there's a guy right there, we should just stop him and talk to him really quick, you know? Like that doesn't make any sense. That is not what they're employed to do. That's not what the taxpayers are paying them to do. They're not paying them to stop people and have a friendly conversation. No, there's rules to their engagement and to their contacting somebody. And that is what's called official capacity and acting under the color of law. You can look it up yourself, and hopefully you come to the understanding of what I'm telling you, what I'm explaining to you tonight. So the next thing I want to talk about is there's a video I have on my channel. It's not my video, but it is a video in which Mr. CJ Grissom got accosted by, I guess it was DPS, Department of Public Safety or some shit like that. An officer, basically, okay, acting under the color of law. And one of my viewers commented on that video and basically said something to the effect of, the only good cop is a dead one. Then someone else came in and commented on that guy's comment and said something to the effect of, not all cops are bad, and so forth and so forth. And so the original commenter came back in response to that guy's comment and said, I didn't say all cops were bad. And then I came in the picture and I made my own comment. I'll put that comment that I made in its entirety, minus the other guy's comments. I won't post their comment because the only one that I'm trying to get across is this point that I'm getting to. So if you look in the description, I'll go ahead and put my comment in its entirety to explain to you why there is no such thing as a good cop, because that's what I explained to them in that comment. And that's what this whole point is about, is there is no such thing as good cops. In this video, you're gonna have people across the nation that would mistake these two guys, these two cops, as being good cops. All right, and they're gonna probably see them like that because they were talking nice to me. They didn't really like disrespect me or anything like that. You know, it was a clean, smooth contact between me and these two cops tonight, and nothing bad came about of it except my own oppression, or them oppressing me, because out of everything that took place in this video you just saw, it was no benefit to them and it was all at my expense. All right, they impeded my freedom of movement. They stopped me, harassed me at my expense for absolutely no reason at all, and at the expense of the taxpayers. All right, nothing bad is going to come to them out of it. All right, so it's not like they're experiencing something wrong or something fucked up because of this video, because of them stopping me, except now they're on YouTube. But here's the point, is that these cops, because of the way they acted, their demeanor or whatever, there's so many people out there that are going to sit there and look at these cops as being good cops. Why? Because they didn't throw me on the ground, they didn't cuff me, they didn't kidnap me, and all that good stuff that, you know, a lot of cops are known to do. But as I said in the comment that you'll read in the description, if you take a look at it, even good cops have quotas to fill. Good cops, so-called good cops, even they are trained to try to escalate situations, all while being nice, you know, try to get something out of nothing, basically. And when you read the comment in the description, you'll understand the examples that I gave in that comment. And it all relates to these cops, because what that comment that I made, that you'll read in the description, says is exactly what these two cops in this video are the epitome of. People are going to mistake them for being good cops, but they're not good cops. Why? Because they illegally stopped me. They harassed me. They profiled me. All right? They commanded me to stop for no fucking reason at all. All right? All at my expense, just to take time away from my precious life. All right? So they can try to get something out of nothing. Because here's what you have to understand. We know that they had no official capacity. We know they were acting under the color of law. We know this is an illegal stop, but these guys were betting on at least one of two things. That when they told me to stop, either I was going to run away from them, giving them probable cause or reasonable suspicion to chase me down and do whatever the fuck they want with me after that. Or the second option being that I was going to be some dumbass motherfucker who didn't know shit about shit. They thought that I didn't know nothing about something. So they were counting on one of those two things at least. And this is why it's so important to record your interactions, because you put them in a place where they have to use their brains. They have to start thinking, because once they can smell that you are somebody that they can wrap around their fingers and do whatever the fuck they want with you, because you don't know your rights, you don't know where you stand, and you don't know what the laws are, you don't know how the cops operate. Once they figure you out like that, that's when it starts to get interesting. That's when these cops will sit there and start disrespecting you and tell you to get out your car and put you in cuffs for their own safety and all kinds of bullshit. That's when they'll continue impeding your freedom of movement, trying to dig up something so they can make an arrest. Because that's what helps their careers out, you know, making arrests and coming back to their employer and being like, oh, I've been a good little piggy. Here's what I got for you tonight. You know what I'm saying? Here's the money that I'm bringing to you guys tonight in the form of this arrest, or even a citation or something. You know what I'm saying? So these pigs fucked up because not only are they dumb at openly admitting that they just committed a crime on fucking video for absolutely no fucking reason at all, they expose themselves for who they really are, all while under the guise of being good cops. And this is such a great video in my opinion, because it shows exactly what I was trying to tell those two viewers in that comment, if you take a look into the description and read it for yourself. All right, so that's basically the video today. I'm pretty sure, you know, hindsight, you know, will be 2020 after I finish uploading this video and whatnot, but I think I got my point across. You know, I got illegally stopped again for doing absolutely nothing wrong. There was no call, there was no official capacity, but there was color of law, because these motherfuckers approached me fully dressed in their suit while they're actively on the clock working for the government, which is a for-profit entity, a contractual entity. That's another thing that I want to mention. When cops stop you and interact with you, you've got to look at that as a contract. All right, they're in essence trying to contract with you, and by that means that they're trying to get you to give them permission to talk to you and to investigate you and try to get something out of you. All right, so that's how I like to look at it, as them trying to contract with you when they're trying to approach you while acting under the color of law. You know, I should have gotten these pigs names, you know, but I guess because the severity of this stop, aside from being accosted unjust, you know, and illegally, the severity really wasn't that bad as in my other videos where they're trying to make up laws, where they're trying to tell me to do this, you know, keep my hands up or I'll be considered a threat, you know, when they're trying to be like active criminals and engage me in the way they have in other videos that I have on my channel. You know, so because the severity of the situation wasn't that bad, I guess in my mind I didn't think of asking their names because, you know, I don't know, I just didn't feel like there was any need to. But it is very important that you always get their names. So on that part, I fucked up. I should have got their names. I may not have gotten their names, you know. I may not be able to do a records request because they didn't log this stop, because as they said, they didn't get a call. And they just were, quote, talking to me, unquote. So they probably didn't log anything, and if I did a records request, I probably wouldn't get anything out of that to begin with. And the fact that I didn't get their names, it's pretty much, you know, moot for me to try to go to internal affairs and put the finger on these pigs. But even though I didn't get their names and I fucked up on that part, which could have presented the opportunity for me to do an internal affairs investigation, which, you know, is going to yield no results, as it's been proven on my channel before. Even though I didn't do all that, at least I got one great something out of this whole experience, was to be able to bring it to you here on YouTube and educate you further on what these so-called good cops are doing out here, even in what's considered the safest city, one of the safest cities in the nation, El Paso, Texas. You know, a lot of people, they think that El Paso is heaven, as another viewer of mine expressed to me not too long ago. But that's not the case. I mean, it's heaven in certain aspects, but until you see the other side, which is what I'm trying to show you with this video and the other videos on my channel, until you see that and figure it out for yourself, only then will you understand just how this place isn't heaven. We are just as oppressed, and the cops are just as fucking corrupt as any other fucking place in the nation, whether it's California, Chicago, New Jersey, New York. You know, we're just as oppressed and have just as much corrupt police walking these streets at the expense of people like myself, an innocent man, and the taxpayers. So that's my piece. I hope y'all get something out of this video, and Again, thank you for watching. Stay frosty.